Today's video is on the top 5 most weird boats.
Number 5. Guilty. The 115-foot yacht Guilty is one of the weirdest boats you'll see anywhere in the world. It's usually docked in Piraeus Port in Athens, Greece, and was created in collaboration between yacht designer Ivana Porifi and American artist Jeff Koons. Surprisingly, the inspiration behind the yellow, pink, white, black, and blue shapes was British naval camouflage during World War I. But rather than blend into the background, this one stands out like no other and can't be missed. The boat was completely painted by hand to get the right effect, and its interior has been decorated in just as artful a way. While the walls and ceilings are pure white, there are windows to let natural light in. The central staircase blends from violet to blue to yellow, and the rooms have neon lighting, exquisite pieces of artwork, and radically designed furniture. Across 3 decks, there's room for 10 guests to stay in comfort, along with 5 crew. And with all of this, there surely isn't a more stylish way to travel. Number 4. Ocean Sapphire. The strangely shaped Ocean Sapphire yacht was built in Italy in 2011, and since then, it has been turning heads at marinas wherever it visits. The gray aluminum structure is nearly symmetrical, so whenever you look at it, it's not entirely clear whether it's coming or going. A large flight of stairs leads between the upper deck and the foredeck, while they also become a focal point on either side of the aft. The sweeping curves look nothing like traditional yacht designs, but while it may look weird, this has all been done for a specific reason: space. It apparently gives 30% more room on the exterior and the interior, which allows for bigger outdoor areas and 5 generous staterooms for the guests. Natural light floods the rooms, and the master suite even has a fold-out sea terrace. If the Ocean Sapphire, with all its peculiar designs, has struck a note with you, then you'll be pleased to know it's available to buy for a bargain price of just $7 million. Number 3. Astra. Just when you thought yachts were beginning to look all the same, along came Astra. It was launched in 2012 with a price tag of more than $20 million and is truly a unique craft, almost looking like a spaceship more than something meant to float on water. Technically classified as a trimaran, the 140-foot vessel has been designed with strength and weight reduction as priorities. Its hulls are made from an extremely strong e-glass and Kevlar foam sandwich, while the rest has been constructed with carbon fiber. Empty, it weighs just over 52 tons, and this allows it to be fast and resilient. The single 1,150 horsepower engine gives a top speed of 23 knots, but its fuel economy at 10 knots is around 4.5 gallons an hour, which gives it a range of 10,000 nautical miles. This means you could cross the Atlantic twice before needing to refuel, and the way it cuts through the waves means you'll do this in comfort and style. The strange shape of Astra means that the interior cabins are just as unusual, as they have been built along the confines of the curves, and they've somehow managed to fit enough space to fit 9 guests and 6 crew. Number 2. Venus. The Venus yacht was created by design company Ubik to custom specifications for Steve Jobs, but the Apple visionary died in 2011 before he could take delivery of this peculiar-looking boat. The modern design of this 256-foot vessel almost makes it look like a floating house more than a yacht, and the metallic finish only adds to the illusion. The deck is also surprisingly bare, where normally you'd see seating and maybe a hot tub. This boat has nothing but a seemingly basic safety rail. Powered by 2 MTU engines, it can reach a top speed of 20.5 knots, but cruises at 18 knots. It's definitely a love or hate design, but as you can expect from the price and the person it was built for, there's more here than initially meets the eye. The satellite domes are hidden within the mast, and some images clearly show a bank of Apple monitors lining the windows of the bridge. Very little is known about the interior though, as only a few images of the beach club has ever been released of it, but it's believed to have cabins for 12 guests and as many as 22 members of crew. The only way we do know anything about Venus is the information that was released at the time of its construction, images that are taken each time the vessel goes in for a refit, and when it's tested at sea before being returned to the owner. It has garage doors on the side from where the tenders can be launched, and the previously mentioned beach club, which contains water toys like the jet skis. It's somewhat ironic naming such a minimalist designed boat after the goddess of love, but whether or not you like this boat, it definitely makes sense that it was created by one of the most influential people in the world of technology of recent times. And if it worked for him, maybe we should learn to love it ourselves. Number 1. Sailing Yacht A. Sailing Yacht A is renowned for being both the most expensive private yacht in the world and also for its weird design. Launched in 2015, it's 468 feet long, 328 feet high, and has 8 decks. Owned by Russian philanthropist Andriy Melnichenko, it reportedly cost upwards of $400 million, and while it's technically a sail-assisted motor yacht, many people consider it to be a sailboat first, with the option for motor-powered when needed. With this being said, it's rarely seen with all 3 sails hoisted, and the lines towards the aft make it look quite unbalanced and sloped towards the stern. The super strong masts can apparently withstand wind speeds of up to 90 knots, and they can rotate to get the best angle against the wind. It has room for 20 guests and an incredibly large crew of 54 members, and it also has an underwater observation pod in its keel that has 12-inch thick glass. There is a helipad and a swimming pool with a retractable roof, but beyond that, nothing is known about what other amenities are available on board. It is, however, equipped with cutting-edge technology, so much so that the sails and anchor can be controlled with a swipe of a touchscreen glass on the bridge. In a bold design choice, the yacht has neon green underwater lighting and no obvious windows on the main body, clearly to ensure privacy for those on board. The designer of the boat called it more of a fish than a building, and because of its size, it's simply unavoidable in any port where it's moored. It's certainly not as traditionally beautiful as what you'd expect from the most expensive yacht in the world, but if you're spending $500 million on something, who cares what anyone else thinks? Honorable mentions. The Exberry Egg. The Exberry Egg was designed by Stephen Turner as a piece of art in the studio for the study of the tidal creek on the Bowloo River of the Exberry Estate in Hampshire, England. The egg shape was chosen because it's strong, and, as the creator describes it, eggs contain the essentials for new life. Key to its design was the idea of sustainability, which led it to being made from wood, something that means it changes over time as the sun's rays, water, and algae make their mark on it, and makes it more like a living structure. It's essentially a small floating house that rises and falls with the tide. Inside, there's a hammock, a desk, a kitchen, and a sink. Although there's no running water, a garden hose has been attached to it to give access to a supply, and there's no electricity, so everything is hand-powered or uses solar panels. As it doesn't have an engine, you aren't going to be able to travel very far or very fast on board this, but it's potentially a first step towards understanding how we might live in the future. With limited space and the drive for environmentally conscious designs, structures like this could become more common along riverbanks to provide people with mobile and low-impact accommodation. The sinking boat. There's one thing you don't want your boat to do, and that's sink. But in 2010, a French artist called Julien Berthier created one that looks like it's doing just that. The idea of the art piece was to build something that freezes an object in a moment of deregulation, and he's known for creating works that are provocative in this way. To make it safely, he took an abandoned yacht, split it in half, and added a new keel that makes it appear to be sinking, but actually keeps it completely structurally sound. It's been on display in museums and taken to marinas around France for the perfect photo opportunity. But now, the boat that permanently looks like it's sinking, or emerging from the water depending on how you interpret it, has been sold to a London banker for a purported $60,000.
I hope you all enjoyed today's video, narrated by Zach this time. Be sure to subscribe for more and check out some of our recent uploads.